So the opportunity for doing positive things with your health plan expense is certainly there. We've shown that in a variety of ways, but we want to try to address this question of, are you ready, or are the plans that you're working with, if you're an advisor, broker, or consultant to self-funded plans, are the plans you're working with ready to start managing their plan costs, or if you are directly involved with a particular plan, is your plan ready to exercise management control over these growing expenses? In our experience, most employers are not ready, and I don't say that with any, happiness or think it's a good thing. I just think it's a reality that while everybody's concerned about health care costs, you talk to any employer, you talk to any plan fiduciary, they're all very concerned about health care costs. Many have tried a variety of things. The latest fads come and go. The latest management techniques come into vogue. They try different projects, some with us, some with other people, whatever it might be. But very few sustain the effort required to manage plan costs. And these costs are like any business expense, and this was the original source of the connection that we made with CFO Magazine and their website CFO.com, is that this expense is like any business expense, and it needs to be managed. And to do that, you have to commit to a process and follow through on that. It is not a one-time event or a once-a-year event. But we find that in terms of being interested in managing this expense, interest is very high, but the opportunity to take advantage of that interest and then sustain that involvement falls. People in plans fall by the wayside very quickly. And why is that? In our experience, it really boils down to a very simple observation. They're simply not prepared. They start out with good intent, enthusiasm, expectations built on what they've heard from other employers and successes they've had, or that other plans have had in using one technique or another, and they charge down a path and then realize it's not a quick shot, it's not a one-time event, however you start, there's always follow-up, there's always more, whether you start with data reviews like we provide, or whether you start with trying to use more innovative plan designs, or playing with the stop-loss provisions, or whatever technique it is that your plan is using to try to manage these costs. It's never going to be just that one effort. There's always more to it. I see clients get caught by, they seem surprised that it's not as simple as they had hoped it would be. And part of that surprise comes from just not being prepared for the journey. And that's really what it is. It's a journey. Like any management process, it requires time and effort. It is not a simple proposition. The way we've come to talk about this sort of thing with people is think of it as a journey or an expedition, if you will, that you're going to embark on, that you're going to go on this venture for purposes of making connections back to the kinds of things that we do. We're going to use this analogy of a mining expedition, more specifically a data mining expedition. But whatever it is, whether it's a data mining or whether you're going down other paths to manage the plan costs, it has to be seen as part of an ongoing activity if you're going to sustain the kind of management oversight and management control that would indicate that you are ready to manage those plan costs. If you're going to go on a journey of any sort, you want to prepare in advance. The same is true on this data mining expedition that we're talking about here. There's opportunity. We don't have to convince people when we first meet them that there are savings opportunities in their health expense. I think everybody sort of assumes that's true, but knowing how to realize those savings and also what are you going to encounter on the way to getting to those savings are what seem to catch a lot of folks that we work with flat-footed or catch them by surprise because they haven't gotten the necessary pieces in place to be able to sustain the journey, the expedition, as they encounter things that are unexpected or obstacles that could have been anticipated had they taken some time to prepare.